So I'm joined by David Artell, Pre-Fleetwood Town. Firstly, it was an excellent result away at Doncaster. It's 3 wins in 3 now. How happy are you with the recent form?
Yeah, look, I think we've got to be keep in mind it's performances that results are the ultimate, but the performances and the underlying performances are ultimately what dictate how likely we are to repeat victories or losses, for that matter. And I thought that the last 3 victories have been good performances, and that's the real pleasing thing from my point of view. In that, the fact that we've got what we've deserved as well is also hugely beneficial. Like I say, I thought we deserved to win at Bromley. We should have won by a landslide against Carlisle, and we definitely deserve to beat Doncaster. So that's pleasing. And we've now got to just keep that going, keep that level of performance, keep that intensity in our play up. And if we do, I've said to the players that they'll give anyone a game in this division if they play like that we know they can do. And like I said, the last 3 games they've done that, so it's been pleasing, yeah.
Yeah, yet another goal for Justin, an assist from Danny Rose. They're both in fine form, aren't they?
Yeah, you want your strikers scoring and creating goals, and they've done that for the last 3 games. We know they're both good players, and we hope he'll continue for the rest of the season.
And Jason's Van Thorson getting the plaudits I think his performances deserve. I'm not sure if you heard back from the dubious goal panel about his goal, but overall it was an excellent performance. Yeah,
I think like I said last week, the week before, I think he's probably been our best player this year, the turn of this year, the calendar year. It's took a bit of a while for him to settle in and all the rest of it. Great bloke, the lads all really like him. He's quite a funny lad. And he's had all them cultural differences to encounter, and there was one on Saturday where it's hit Justin's heel and he's clean through on goal, and it's Jason who's playing the ball to him. So he could have had a goal or a heavy hand in a goal, and then assist if it doesn't catch Justin's heel. But the real pleasing thing with that is he won a couple of challenges to create that chance for a pass. So we know where his development lies and what he's got to do, but he's been showing some brilliant bits of play. And we've got to keep. It's my job to keep getting the best out of players. That's my job, and he's improving, and that's another pleasing aspect of where we're at the minute.
Another full week of training. To how the lads been this week, and do you have any squad updates to give us?
Yeah, no. It's always helpful when there's no midweek game because you can get more work into the lads, and I hope the fans see that. Anyone who come to the fans event on the was it Friday night? I can't remember when it was. We showed them the Bromley sort of prep. When you've got a week to prepare, it's just easier. Any knocks you can sort of get checked over and stuff, and we've had another clear week this week. Obviously, I've been to watch Fleetwood a week last Tuesday at Tranmere. I watched them again on Tuesday against Wimbledon, and they were excellent. Probably one of the best performances I've seen from a team on Tuesday. If they'd have beaten Wimbledon 4 or 5-0, it wouldn't have been unfair. That's for sure. They were so dominant. They just didn't take the numerous chances that they created. So we know that they've got that in them, and we know that it's a difficult test for us on Saturday. I said to the lads straight after the Doncaster game in the changing rooms afterwards, I said, you've come here and there's probably not as much pressure on you. There'll be more pressure on you next week when some people probably expect you to win. That's probably not a sensible thing to think like in League 2 because everyone can beat everyone. But the league table means that some people just see that as gospel. So we've got to make sure we take the game to them because, like I saw on Tuesday night with them, they're a good team.
Yeah, and just a quick mention, lastly, on Geza David Toure. He's now training with the lads. How's he been in his first couple sessions?
Yeah, you can see he's a good player. But, you don't need to be fit to be able to control the ball and pass the ball properly. he's been excellent since he's been with us. He's got a long way to go. I think he's only played, I think it's 60 minutes or something like that since October, since the end of their season. So he's much further behind than, say, like a Dara, for example. And obviously we saw Dara last weekend. But Geezer's much further behind, so we've got to, get him up to speed as quickly as we can, but also in a controlled manner. And Greg Howard's excellent at things like that, so Greg will be looking after him for the next 2 or 3 weeks until we know that he's not going to break, or we believe he's not going to break, and that's where we're at with Geezer. But it's good to see him out. He kept sort of popping his head to the training ground, not being able to do much, and then go back to the hotel, which wasn't great for a week. But he's in now, and he's training with the lads and getting his feet under the table.
Yeah, and touching on Fleetwood again, and obviously you said any team can beat any team. Certainly the case in our first game of the season against them. It was a tightly contested 1-0 defeat. I'm sure there's a kind of a challenge you're relishing, aren't you?
Yeah, I thought we deserved much more than that in the first game of the season, but ultimately it goes in the books as a 1-0 loss. But I thought we were totally dominant and probably should have been 3 up by half time. But if you don't take your chances, and like I said, Fleetwood found that out Tuesday night, you don't win the game, even whether you deserve to or not. So we've got to make sure that when our chances come, we take them, and we've got to limit them at the other end. And it'll be a tough game. They're never easy games against Fleetwood, never easy games against Pete Wild's teams. But we believe we know what we're coming up against. So, we're in a good vein of form, and we've got to make sure that continues.
Yeah, and lastly, I'm sure we all know how amazing the away support was, and at Doncaster it was spectacular, wasn't it? And I know we want that again at BP, don't we, on Saturday?
Yeah, the biggest sort of thing I can say about that is everyone Monday morning was still talking about it. There were staff members, there were players still singing songs because it was still in their head 2 days later. That shouldn't go unmentioned. My only criticism is that's only ever been at away games. We've got to as a club. This is not me having to go to the fans. It's as a club, us as players, staff. We've got to get that going at BP. I'm not sure how, but we've got to. I don't know if all the people who sing sit together. I have no idea, but we've got to get that going at BP, because when we do, and when we've had it once or twice. Bradford at home, the MK Dons game last year, Port Vale at home over Christmas. We've got to have that now for the next 7 or 8 games at home, because it's so important. It is so important, and it affects the players in such a positive way. So that's how we can all come together. I know the vice chairman put online that we're all as one, and it felt like that. The players didn't want to go off the pitch because of what the fans were, what they're doing after the game, and that's a huge credit to them. And obviously we thank them for that, because it was their performance was terrific, like outstanding from a group of fans, a large group of fans. And I just hope we do that, this Saturday and going forward, because, like I say, it can have such a positive impact on the players.
Brilliant. Thank you, David.
Thank you.